And topping our list is the gateway to Everest, Nepal's Lukla Airport. Number 1 is Nepal's Lukla Airport.
Lukla Airport, Nepal, brings together all these variables we've been talking about, and it's really what makes an airport extreme. You have the altitude, mountains, wind shear, turbulence, a short runway, constantly changing weather. It is one of the most extreme airports in the world.
Officially called Tenzing Hillary Airport, it is named for the first men to reach the summit of Mount Everest, Sir Edmund Hillary and Sherpa Tenzing Norgay. Long known as Lukla, it is located high in the northeastern corner of Nepal, in the heart of the Himalayas. There are 30 daily flights between Kathmandu and Lukla. While only 85 miles apart, they can feature drastically different weather. Positioned at an elevation of 9,382 feet, it is one of the world's highest airports and the gateway to Everest. The short 1,600-foot runway features a 2,000-foot drop into the valley below.
Lots of people find it very crazy to be landing here, and they're really surprised kind of seeing this runway, and they're just shocked.
The tourists who come to Nepal have Everest in mind, so they do have some kind of a feeling that it's going to be a difficult airport. And when they see the runway, it's a lot scarier for them.
It was the most terrifying experience of my entire life. When I saw that bit of tarmac, I honestly thought I was going to die.
My first experience was seeing the mountains, and after I'd seen the mountains, was trying to work out where the hell we were going to land. Because all you see are mountains and ridges and valleys. You don't see any flat land. And then when I realised that we weren't even landing on a ridge, my heart stopped.
The other end of the runway seems to slope uphill towards the peaks behind it. The gradient of 12 degrees is the equivalent of a 10-story building.
You see the runway when you come in, can't quite believe that you're going to land on it. It doesn't look long enough.
It just doesn't seem right, does it? That you're landing on a runway that's uphill. It just doesn't seem right.
You can't prepare for it, you really can't. You can read about it, but you can never appreciate how scary it is until you actually fly in.
The fact that this runway moves uphill actually helps the aircraft stop.
When you come to Lukla, there's a dead end. If you don't check the aircraft at the last touchdown point, your nose will hit. You cannot overshoot. There's no go around. That's crazy.
Okay, ignition on. GG rising.
Because of these intricacies, the airport is always treated with extreme precision and caution.
All set for departure.
You have to start from scratch here. Any other pilots flying any other airfields in the world cannot just come and fly here. They have to come get used to it. Just like the trekkers and hikers, when they come here, they have to get acclimatized. We don't clear pilots to land here without instructors.
It takes an experienced pilot to fly in here. Even the captains have to first clear for this Lukla approach, and not all of them can succeed.
During the high season in October, Nearly 500 passengers travel daily to this remote spot near the top of the world. The approach into Lukla is treacherous because of the decreased horsepower of planes at this altitude. As a result, once a landing attempt has begun, there is no going back. It requires a coordinated effort on the ground. Everyone needs to be ready.
Once the departure happens from Kathmandu, we sound the siren to let the airlines as well as the passengers to know that the aircraft has actually departed from Kathmandu.
The runway is used as a shortcut into town, so the sound of the siren warns locals to get off the runway.
When you initiate an approach from 9,300 onward, that's a point of no return. You cannot overshoot. You cannot fly out of it. You have to come, land, final go.
The airport is named for Sir Edmund Hillary and Sherpa Tenzing Norgay, not just because of their epic feat, but because Hillary was instrumental in building the airport. While he saw it as a way to get mountaineers to Everest Base Camp more quickly, he also did it to help the locals.
It was Sir Edmund Hillary with his vision who felt that it was something that he wanted to give back to this society that he loved so much.
He wanted to build schools, but to get in textbooks for the schools, he had to fly them in. So he wanted a place where an airplane could fly textbooks to schools. He acquired the land in papers from the Sherpa people out here to build the airport. The airport just used to be rocks and shrubs with small trees. During the day, the Sherpas used to break the stones, cut the shrubs, and during the night, he used to get about 100 Sherpas to walk the airfield up and down to flatten the airfield. And he used to provide all the 100 people with local Sherpa beer. They used to drink that and they used to walk the night up and down to flatten the airfield.
The construction was completed in 1964 and has been serving the area ever since.
Lukla does not have roads at all. You don't see any vehicles of any kind. The only machine that you find in Lukla are the airplanes that fly in. The community of this entire region relies totally on the Lukla Airport for all the supplies, from rice to medicines to daily necessities, from soaps to anything. The entire houses out here in Lukla have tin roofs. All of those tin roofs are flown here on airplanes or choppers.
70% of the area is still not accessible by land. So there's no way out unless there's an aircraft or helicopter landing into that area. See, most of the people don't even know what a car looks like. But ask them about aircraft, they'll tell you, because that's what they have grown up with.
While Lukla has seen some modernization, like the paving of the runway in 2001, it remains treacherous. Due to the altitude, the weather is always a challenge to overcome.
The weather is totally unpredictable. Usually in the morning, the weather seems to be clear, and that's when most of the planes take off and land. So most of the flights are done during the morning hours.
During the morning, it's usually clear, and the wind are not so strong. And during the afternoon, slowly this cloud starts to build up, and by the evening it's usually cloudy. So most of the flights happen early in the morning.
When the weather is clear, it's turbulent. When the weather is not clear, it's cloudy. And it's difficult to come and approach here, but you have to know exactly what you're doing.
In spite of all the warnings, there have still been several incidents over the years, including 4 in the past 6 years. The most recent occurring on a fall morning in October 2008.
It's not a controlled airport. We don't clear the aircraft to land or depart. We just inform them of the weather condition and the runway condition. On that morning, we had informed the pilot there's fog below the approach level initially, and he continued. And I think he also was caught by surprise the way the fog just lifted up, and maybe he was blinded. The aircraft came to final and we could see it descend. Just suddenly the fog just lifted off, and we just expected it to come out of it, but it didn't. Just went too low. We could just see flames.
There were 19 people on board. 18 of them died. There was only one survivor, the pilot. And he was yelling with pain.
It has been a year and a half since the air crash here. The major wreckage of the crash has been removed from here, but you can still see a lot of remains around this area. For example, this is a wristwatch of one of the passengers. I'm sure if you remove this, you will see the exact time of the air crash. It's hard to believe that somebody was wearing this watch in the aircraft. You can see it's all burnt now.
The actual cause of the crash is still undetermined, but its consequence, 18 fatalities, remains a constant reminder of the perils of Lukla.
It's an extreme airport because of there's so many factors. Weather, clouds, rain, icing conditions, snow, wind factor plays a big role. Other reasons are the terrain. It's a rugged area. We fly through the mountains. The other one is the upslope. You have to be accurate. We combine all these together, put them in a cup, drink that as a potion, and come and land here with all that in our mind.